Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final round. Ignore the intro split graphics. This is round 10 from Jerez. I am John Van Ree. This is the RaceKraft Simulations V8 Vets Split 3 Sandpit broadcast. With me this evening in the house, I have Adrian Zippy Zelle, Bruce McLeod, Ed Cullen, and Mark Dial. How are we, gentlemen?
Good evening.
Good evening, John. Looking forward to this one.
Yeah, looking forward to this one too. It's the last end of the season for everybody. And of course, it is going to be a cracker. Big shout out to all those in the chat as well. Brett Fisher, Jim Caparonis, Pete Kelleher, Marty Hughes, and Anita Buckland. But I'm not sure if that's the real Anita Buckland. Find out later. We'll find out later.
Yeah, I got caught.
I got tipped off last night, so I was half suspicious when I clicked accept, and then I got the message wave, and I went, "Nah, that's definitely not Anita." He wouldn't be that polite to me. Tissues ready by Jeff Sanford. Righto. So moving forward on that one, let's start off by having a quick look at this track. It is an awesome circuit. I enjoy the V8s racing at it. After the Pro Series on Wednesday night, it's a 50-50 split on love-hate. But, if you want a track that doesn't have draft, you want a track where you have tyre deg, where you've got to balance your race out, this is it. And that was proven a bit last night as well, catching a few guys out as well. But we start on the start-finish straight, and we head up to the Expo 92 corner, which is an uphill rise, and then we sweep through the right-hander downhill into Michelin, where we've got to pull the car up. Come out of Michelin through 3 and 4, where we sweep up the hill again into Cedo Ponds, and then we head up the hill all the way to Dry Sack. Once we reach Dry Sack, of course, it's not named after Gunter. It's nothing to do with Gunter. Don't stress. It's got to do with the fact that Sack is a sherry variety of wine that is grown in the region, and the English nobility were shipping it out by the boatload and that sort of stuff. So it's nothing to do with Gunter. We head down through turn 7, and then we go into a spa where we come around the corner, and then we have to pull it back up again at Angel Nitro, which of course is the greatest Spanish Grand Prix motorcyclist ever, who the circuit is named after. We sweep through 9, and then we go into Pellicue, and then we come up through on the moto layout through the Alex Crivier corner instead of the Senna chicane. We then sweep through Ferrari, and then it finishes in the tight, twisty Jorge Lorenzo corner, and then we are back over the start-finish line. It is a great little circuit, and I think we're going to be in for a cracking race again tonight. How did you boys find it?
It's a very technical track. You've got to care for those tyres.
I struggled with practice trying not getting any off tracks.
Yeah, it's not an easy track for off tracks. Saw some very high numbers last night, and Pro Series as well saw high numbers. Quite an interesting one. Anyway, of course, this is the last round. It is a no-drop round, and we will have a look at the points after 9 rounds. Adrian Zippy Zelle sitting in second. He is 5 points behind John Fillingham. Roy Clark, 1 point difference on the leaderboard there in third spot. So he's within striking distance as well. Interesting to see what the Blue Mountain Crash Fest Clark can do. Here he's not with us this evening because he's got his face deep into a kebab. And
he's being a traitor.
Being a traitor, yeah, I know. Big swipe at Jim. Of course, Andrew Rushworth, he's had a great season as well, being one of the rookies sitting in 1183. Dean Logsdale, the winner from last week, sitting in 5th at 1174. And then the Sheriff himself on 1135 ahead of Brett Fisher, Michael Yeo, Mark Dial in the top 10, and Sean Vandermeulen, the greatest plumber in Gippsland, sitting in 10th. He's had a cracking season as well for his first full season in the series. And it has been a great series, and I think it really comes down to a cracking final round that I'm really looking forward to presenting to everybody because I think it has been great. I don't know what you boys think. I mean, I know my name wasn't on that top 25 list, but I still think it was a good season had by all.
Very even season.
I'll comment after the race.
Well, let's start before we get into the race by showing, of course, the grid positions because that is the next most important part of the evening. And we start off with Dean Logsdale, as we found out last week, going from 2 wheels to sim wheels. And he is done a sensational job for Velocity Esports to put himself on pole with a 139.43. Lining up alongside old mates and sons, Sheriff Daniel. He's done well. He's driven fast all season as well, so not surprised to see him on the front row. Brett Fisher from Shadow Racing sitting in third, lined up alongside Banter Alliance Racing's Crash Clark. Then on the third row, we saw Sean Vandermeulen from Old Mates and Sons alongside Locked On Lads Racing, Jeremy Bush, all the way from deep south in Tasmania. And then in seventh was Team AJR's Rising Sun. They call him the center of the team, Adrian Zippy Zelle, in seventh. He's got a bit of work to do there, bearing in mind he's sitting second in the championship here. And he lines up alongside the babyface Darren Linus from Velocity East Sim Sports. On ninth, Ed Cullen in the top 10. He's had a great season qualifying, but can he convert it? And in 10th, the man who is leading the series only by a few points. He is a long way back there. He's got a lot of work, John Fillingham from Veteran Gaming Australia. So can we just see what he can do? We then come to Andrew Rushworth from Apex Esports League in 11th. And then in 12th, we've got Dag Motorsports, Andrew Galley. And in 13th, we have Scotty Perrins from Quantum Pecky Racing lining up alongside Controller Motorsports, James Cormick. In 15th, Justin Wood from Dag Motorsports lining up alongside Bio One's gun, Jeff Sanford. And then in 17th is Dave Galley lining up behind his teammate from Dag Motorsports. And then we have this team boss El Supremo. Some call him the New Zealand version of Bernie Eccleston, Andrew Johnston in 18th. And then in 19th, we have Pete Kelleher from Synergy Sim Racing. And in 20th, we have Old Mates and Sons, John Lee. If I've got this right, he's from Central North Coast in New South Wales. It's a lovely part of the world where that is. And in 21st, Joseph Grenshaw from iDrive Sim Training lines up alongside Pacific Esports, Big Pelican of Marty Hughes. And then in 23rd, we've got Moses Korolev from Oceanic Sim Racing. So remember last time we were here, he started back there and the seas parted for Moses. So just keep an eye on what he does on this first lap. 24th, Craig Rose from Quantum Pecky Racing, another one of the great improvers of the season. He has improved lots. I believe a fair bit of coaching from Stephen Varga involved there as well. As we roll over the page to Michael Hayes from Nova Sim Sports. He lines up alongside some flog from WKMP in 26th. In 27th, Dave Baldock from Dave 37 Racing, WKNP. He lines up alongside Ross Watson from Misfit Racing Team. Rob Baxter, the better-looking Baxter from Coast to Coast in 29th. And he lines up alongside Roger Longridge in 30th. Darren Vermey from 1MLT in 31st. Lines up alongside Phil Marsh in 32nd. Anita Buckland back in 31st. 33rd from Old Mates and Sons is alongside Quantum Pecky Racing's Mick Rudd. Tim Vermey is the last of the guys that set a time. And then a big shock here is Nick Hasler with no time on the board. So Nick's been running in the top 10 all season. So he is a long way back down the order. And over the page, we have Mark Dial starting with a pit lane start due to license points infringements. Sean Slater didn't set a time. Safety car, of course, was driven again by Simon Farrington. Jeff Richardson didn't set a time from Old Mates and Sons. Pato didn't set a time from Old Mates and Sons. Greg Shelton from Player One didn't set a time. And Laurie Saunders rounded out our race control with Bruce McLeod, who likes to be hiding behind the pixels. So that is our grid, guys. Any comments on that?
Yeah, some upsets in that top 10, John. Having John Fillingham in 10 and Zilly in 7th. So
I did prefer the grid 3 seasons ago when we were here, the first time we were here when I was on pole, but apart from that, it's all good.
I'd forgotten all about that.
So I was
Yeah,
very conscious. I was in the sandwich.
The sandwich, yep.
Yeah.
Definitely, Ed. You got to work your way out of that.
Well, I didn't, want to impede anyone's championship now, did we?
No, that's what you're there for. There to be the mobile chicane. What I keep telling myself. Anyway, let's light the wick on this one. I know we're all keen to see who gets the chocolates. I am looking forward to how this plays out. So I think it will be a great race with everybody ready to go. So let's get this started with Daniel Sheriff sitting in pole position. Sorry, Dean Logsdale in pole position with Daniel Sheriff sitting on the front row with him. They were away. Bit of tyre smoke there from Logsdale. Let's open up the door for Fisher to get in. Fisher with the big start. Clark out wide, looking for a gap in there. He's not going to find room. He's going to get pushed out by Logsdale. Logsdale still working his way. Sheriff still trying to settle itself down. It's definitely Fisher out in front. SDK playing up again for me, but will safely sort itself out. As we keep rolling through the order here, we're going to go a little bit further back in the pack. Dave Galley caught out wide by Moses Korolev, heading now into Cedo Ponds for the first time. And looking a little bit wider. Down a slight touch. He's in trouble. A bit further back. Baldock's in trouble. Back across. Oh, how people didn't hit him there, I do not know. So all happening back in the order. As SDK settles itself down now, and Brett Fisher is got the lead from Logsdale. Fisher up 2 spots off that start. Absolute a cracker. Roy Clark in third. Daniel Sheriff in fourth. Jeremy Bush. Ed Cullen up 3 spots, bringing along John Fillingham with him. So this is very important positions for the championship.
How are you in there, Mr. Clark?
Definitely moving forward here very quickly. As I think I might have missed Hazy involved in that incident as well a bit earlier back. So definitely coming to the end of lap 1 here. These guys are definitely done quite well to survive that. So it's Fisher from Logsdale, Clark, Sheriff.
That's awesome by Brett.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did late the fact that last week that he got a new steering wheel.
Yep.
And instantly.
Yeah, he was setting some good times in practice, so yeah, that's awesome for him.
And he's pulling away.
Done well to adjust with a new wheel in such a short period of time too, just quietly.
And they say wheel doesn't do anything for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it doesn't do anything for you.
He really, really liked it, did he?
Well, if it isn't a trader.
So, Ed, this is sending a signal that maybe you should consider upgrading your wheel, mate.
Watch this space.
I'm sorry,
And
but
I'm gonna say
the long-term contract he's had with Logitech G29. I mean, that's outstanding. You can't break that. That's like breaking up a 25-year marriage.
He's come off T300. So I think the G29 got kicked a couple of years ago, but not long ago.
The thing about Logitech is they're a really good wheel until you know better. Now, to be fair, I haven't tried one of the new direct drive Logitech. They're a really good wheel. I know a couple of people that have them, like my personal trainer, they rave about them. But I think I know personally I can't use my Logitech anymore. Still got it, have it as a backup, but it's more about memorising than feeling. So I just don't think it still survives, still kicks on.
You have to ask Delia about the Logitech.
Well, it's the best thing that I've ever had, so I love it. Click sponsor.
Of course, the only race that I've ever won was with the Logitech Pro wheel.
I think it was your first race too, wasn't it, Chuck?
That was my first race with the wheel, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably had a bit to do
Sometimes
too.
stuff I hate.
2 weeks of practice that I did beforehand.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it was the first race of the season. And
What do you think about the wheel, John? You've had a SimiCube 2 for a while and the HE pedals.
No, I don't have SimiCube. I've got
Tell me what
a
you got.
DD1.
Oh, you got a Fanatec.
Yeah, which works
Oh,
well.
okay,
And
cool.
it hasn't missed a beat. That's why I laugh every time Mark gets upset.
Yeah, but it's still Fanatec, you know.
It's Corsair.
Exactly.
I'm surprised. Yeah, it hasn't skipped a beat on you.
It will.
I bricked it once, but once you do it once, you know what not to do to make it get in that state.
So, John, where did your Logie end up?
My Logie is with Blair at the moment. He's got it set up at home. And it was used by Simon Williamson when he was racing with the team. And yeah, so I love the wheel. It feels well, and the True Force is bloody awesome. Absolutely love it. But just because I'd already had the whole, triple screen or quad screens and track racer rig and the rest of it, I just found it hard getting it to sit on, like setting up the rig where I had just enough leg room under my legs with the wheel deck. So where sort of the Fanatec wheels sort of built into the plane, not on top of it. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for the fact that I was bashing my knees, I think I would have stuck with the wheel. Trying to make a movie, Roy?
Yeah, I wasn't close enough. A couple of times Dean made a little mistake, and the rest of the time it was just sort of throw the car out there. I was mindful. I knew my race was with John and Zealy last night, so it was very much a case of see where the guys were and try and run it that way. Mind you, the way John's going at the moment, I think he might be the new Moses. He seems to be moving forward at the moment.
Yes, already up 3 spots. Good little battle here with Jeff Sanford and Justin Wood. Then he just blows it. Commentator's curse.
Yeah, well, it laid down pretty quiet early on. Right? Yeah, like we're all lapping roughly the same time.
Brett sort of took off a bit like he is at the moment. He's got a good lead, and we're all sort of bunched up pretty close. So I think everyone just settled in, run some laps, and just tried to get to a pit stop. I think it was like John just made a move on some turkey in front of him.
Yeah, well, I held him back as long as
I reckon that is the first mistake I have seen from Andrew
In a long time.
Yeah, all year. Like, he has been on fire this season.
Here you go. Bit of pressure going on here now.
Yeah, all looks, no substance. Just enough to go, if I put it here, yeah, well. Some of us got looks for TV and others have got looks for radio, hey Mark?
I'll remember you in the track next week. Split 2, buddy.
Yeah, but, hey, don't go giving anything away. Or I might crash here and fall back to the end of the field.
There you go. Andrew's saying he got touched from behind. And Gunter wasn't even in the race.
Yeah, I know, I was going to say.
it looked like
a phantom touch, hey?
Is Gunther coming back next season? Is he going to return?
I can confirm Gunter is back. Oh!
Oh!
Got a little excited. Thought he had Clark there, I think.
Just went for that extra bit of throttle.
Yes, I can confirm that Gunter is back. And I can confirm he is coming back with General Motors. He will not be back in the Stang.
What a smart man.
And look at that, John's already up 5 spots at the moment.
Yeah, he's coming.
Yeah. Jeremy is so quick. The times I saw him setting in practice and that. There was a lot of times that the boys were setting that I was nowhere near this week.
You missed Steve Grumley where I announced that I won the championship in split 1. No, there's been no announcements, no big announcements for next season yet. Still finalising some details in the background with the boys on the committee about which track will be pre-qual, and pre-qual will only be for the 8 new drivers on the list and the 8 drivers on the waiting list. So once we get a benchmark on the new 8 drivers, we will then be in a position where we can finalise splits for next season. We will make an announcement, I think, later in the week, where we might just give a bit of a who's on the bubble to go up and who's on the bubble to go down, and that's all they will be, on the bubble. And of course, we've done the old 6 race calculations, but there's a couple of guys who only did 3 or 4 races who need to also pass the pub test in terms of if they go up or down. So, bit of work to be done.
I think Bruce's spreadsheet just took him out of the server.
No, Bruce did his spreadsheet and said, over to you, Blue Leader. It's like, thanks, Bruce.
So Adrian's just gone past me. I didn't want to hold him up too much, so I was just finding the right time to just let him ease past.
Why? I do later when he comes in front of me. All these guys that complain about blocking in split 1 have got to come and see what I did.
Yeah, well, look at poor Jeremy. That's all he put up with once he got to the back of my car. As long as you stayed online, there was just nowhere to pass.
Yeah.
Oh, that was tight.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
It's so tight. But I mean, I had a strategy, a race pace, and a rhythm, and I wasn't going to hold people up.
Well, I would have been happy if you could have done that.
It's
My whole strategy was I needed to get away from 2 cars as far as I possibly could and work out whether I needed extra bonus points and everything else. So I had all those calculations going in my head going, okay, I need this position, and if I don't get that, I need the bonus point for this and this. And then lap 2, I got an off track and went, well, I can forget about that bonus point.
I mean, it's a miracle they ended up in front of both of them and then held them off for as long as I did. So.
Oh, Brett's doing really well. He's 2 seconds in front.
Yeah, he's just held that nice margin.
Well, that's why he's not getting any airtime.
Okay.
He's almost,
That
he's
was
basically, yeah, he's 2 seconds to Dean, and then another almost the same again to me.
He's a guy doing really well too, James Cormick, in the top 10, up 4 spots.
Give me a hard time now.
Didn't you used to be a General Motors man, John?
Yeah, I did, until I rolled out the Mustang so that Baldock couldn't complain about parity.
Parity.
Because I remember Baldock conning me into switching to the Mustang because he'd do a certain paint scheme for me if I switched to the Mustang.
And Marty, he's loving the sand livery. I can confirm I won't be running the sand livery next season.
How much did you raise for that, John?
We raced over $500 for dementia,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, that was awesome.
yeah. And we made going to go on a 10k run as well with it, so
Yes. There's James in the top 10.
Yeah, doing very well. Under a lot of pressure though from Darren at the moment. Might just go back down the back a bit. Rosie's in a bit of a battle as well. Bit of smoke.
Oh.
The track there. Not sure what happened with that one, but yeah.
Oh, he does quite well to use a controller and still be able to drive these things.
Yeah. Yeah, James does really well with that.
You should read what Pato's written, John.
Oh, no.
Oh,
No.
pressure's on.
That's a lot.
The pressure is on.
Big. That's a
Oh.
big. That's a big no.
I can say the livery I'm going to run next year is sand colour, but it has a few other markings on it.
Yeah, but John, the people have spoken.
Well, just a person.
People, person, at that sort of, he can be as many people as he wants for that sort of donation.
You got to love his paint. You know, every time you go past it, the dog looks at you. It's like it's staring at me.
It doesn't matter what angle you are either. Something's staring at you. It's got an eye looking at you.
Yes, it's got 3 eyes.
Pete uncharacteristically down in 17th.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, top 20 driver.
Mm.
Or top 10. Oh, Moses is up 6.
But look at Ross, he's up 10.
No, he's got a big battle on with Andrew, the battle of the Kiwis. So they have their own little battle on the side.
Oh, they always do.
Mm.
And let's see who else is in tight battle. Nick
They're
Hasler.
racing for sheep stations.
Gotta say, like, it was really enjoyable last night. I really enjoyed just close quarters of a lot of the racing, and it was just, yeah. Like, the whole night was someone was a second or less around me.
I can say I didn't enjoy it that much last night. It was too much maths to be done.
Just shut up and drive, Roy.
Yeah, exactly.
If you finish as high as possible, you don't have to worry about it. Or get Sherbo to come in and spot for you. He can be your calculator.
No, I was lucky last night. I had the sexiest man in the league, Marty Hansen, spotting for me last night. So that was a bit of a distraction. I mean, his voice is almost as hypnotic as his looks. So
There's still a few battles. You're still under a fair bit of pressure, Roy. Up 11.
poor Jeremy.
The gap's closed into position 1.
If I'd have let him go, I think he would have been on the guys at the front very quickly. It's just that John was right behind him, so there was no way I was letting him go.
Ooh.
What happened there?
It's off.
Smoke.
James went wide, I think.
Yeah, I think he just locked up.
Yeah, he's dropped
Couple of spots.
4 spots.
It's gone up to 600.
Oh, no. These guys are bastards. Oh. I need to talk to my people first.
Well, you better send a message, because they could be gone by the end of the broadcast if you don't say yes to that.
Has the challenge gone out, has it, John?
Yeah.
It's just increased by another 100. So
It's up to 600. Let me keep thinking.
Oh,
Oi!
oh,
Justin.
he's kicked it off the wall.
Did well there.
That was a real backlock. Lock up one.
There's a couple of spots that I found during the race where you'd come into a corner in the car and go, no, I'm just going to slide down.
Yeah. So she certainly wanted to push. Especially when you exited.
And, you know, your tyre wear was just ridiculous here anyway. It's probably the most tyre deck we've had on our track.
I'll make an announcement about my livery, and then you boys can tell me if it's sandy coloured enough at the end of the broadcast.
Gonna have a picture of Olivia Newton-John dressed like bloody Grease style.
Nah, it's not that.
You said Sandy, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
So, Adrian, you would have felt like you were in the box seat at this stage?
No, I was nowhere near the box seat. John's in front of me. Roy's, I couldn't even see Roy. So it's just like,
but I mean, you're racing John at the moment, aren't you?
oh, I was just trying to hang with him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not that far in front.
But then no, he's just in front, nearly 2 seconds. But I had Sean behind me. I've gone, where did he come from? Because he lost it at the start, and he just started ripping up behind me.
And is he going to get you here? He's been so quick at the end of this season too, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's really, really improving now that he's getting a bit more consistency in him. Yeah, he's really improved.
Oh, he's giving up the inside.
Yeah.
Well, you're not actually racing him, are you?
No, I'm not racing him for points. I'm just getting that position, and I had to concede and say, look, off you go.
Yeah, I know, because this race was very much who are you, like, who are we racing? Like, I was really looking at the three of us at the start of the race because there was 6 points between the three of us, so it was like, okay, how far?
You actually-
and then after qualifying,
Do you actually look at the points before you race?
Well, I'd looked at them. We looked at them last week after the race, so we knew what it was.
I
Which is
didn't look
probably
at
the
it until
downfall.
races. I didn't look at it until the end of the race.
Yeah.
End of the last race. I went, no, that's where I finished. Okay.
Yeah, last week's broadcast, we saw that it was 6 points between the three of us. And then when I jagged qualifying and the boys were back a bit, I was like, I've got a chance here. And then John's now moved forward 5 spots, which sort of...
Yeah, I didn't get to see his times that he was setting in practice. He was on the side with Scotty, sort of giving him a few tips and here and there. And he wouldn't tell me what time he was setting, so I had no idea.
Here we go.
I knew that Fisher was
Bit of smoke there, Zippy. What happened?
caught speeding in pits.
Oh, no.
No.
Throw the championship away, son.
Too busy
one
looking at
job.
Sean, and
One
I
job.
forgot to people live it up. Yeah, I know. I don't have the luxury of a
Entry.
good-looking pit crew.
Well, yeah. As I said, handsome Marty Hansen was there. Helping me out, mate.
So much to learn.
I did the strength of field on Tuesday night and cut the inside of the pit entry and got the 0.6 slowdown and didn't burn it before I hit the pit line, so got a 41-second penalty for that. So I was super careful.
Well, the stupid thing was I jumped into a test session prior to the warm-up and just practiced pit entries.
Yeah.
Because I know how bad
Not
it is.
enough.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Not where you put the pit limiter on.
Yeah. So yes, that was the missus in the land room and me screaming out and saying all cursed words.
Yep. Yeah.
And she was saying, "It's okay, darling."
No, this is real life. Do you not understand? This is life or death.
He quickly left the room.
I was more likely to loop it on the grass than I was to turn in early.
So now we're seeing the top 5 drivers in. The rest of them are coming in the lane. Ed Cullen nicely gets it around. That's how you do it, Zippy.
Very cautious.
So I pitted further up the field than up the pits than John did, and I was contemplating dropping as soon as I saw him driving out of the pits, or going with my strategy of putting 75 litres in the car, and I ended up going with the 75 litres.
I think that was the move. Balanced you out if something did come up. Boy,
Oh, jeez.
Who's that? Oh,
the late
that's
safety car did come in, you'd be sitting pretty with 75, 80 litres.
Yeah,
So that's
that
everyone.
was the hope. That's what I did for.
It's everyone in the lane now. So the leader of the race now is Dean Logsdale.
So Brett was struggling with his pit limiter on the way out, so I don't know what's the difference in... Oh no, there's a big difference in time, look at that.
Yeah, but didn't he say it took him a corner or so to get it back on, and that's a long time with the limiter on.
Yeah.
And that's a slick move, and depends on how much fuel Dean took, of course.
Yep.
But he was, what, second behind going in, and he's now
He's
7
7
seconds
seconds.
in front.
Yep. And then another second to John.
Yeah, John's done well. Where was he, in 5th spot or something, wasn't he?
Yep.
Mm.
Oh, did you fill up, did you, Roy?
Yeah, I was as I went for 75 litres.
Ah, okay.
And obviously Jeremy's went for a bit more than that because he's back a bit further.
Yeah, that shocked me, actually. I'm coming out and I'm going, what's Roy doing in front?
Yeah.
I took 55.
Yeah, I was wondering what Zippy was doing back with the rest. Now I know, it's 40 seconds. Thought that might have been the case. We
I
go
was,
to it, Andrew.
I was crying.
Yeah, I know. I was getting that practice for season 21 when we were running in the wet.
So after the top 10 settled, you know, like I shuffled down the night and I was happy there. I come out of this pit stop and I go, oh, I'm back in the, oh, who's behind? Oh, geez, Jeremy, Daniel.
So just looking at the pit times, you can see Dean went 25, Brett was 28. So 25 would be the half split, 28's pushing it out a bit more, 27. 30's your large fill, Jeremy's gone the large fill. Nick Hasler's gone the short fill. Kelleher's gone the big fill. Andrew Johnson went the short fill, that's how I knew because he rolled out in front of me. Ross Watson, big fill. Marty Hughes, a very big fill.
Big fill. Yeah, that's a big one.
McCormick 33, it's a 80 litre fill. Paddo's done the short fill. So fairly balanced fuel consumption load in there. So most guys going the long fuel first stop strategy.
But look where the short fuel got Nick.
Mm.
He's jumped. He's up to 25 spots now.
Yeah. But this is what I really like now, like with our 2 compulsory stops and like at this stage of the race, who are you actually racing against? Yeah, so you're kind of trying to go, okay, I know Jono got out in front of me, so he's obviously gone less fuel. So, you know, you just got to watch the time onto him and just drive it forward from there. So I just love how the strat works.
It's a bit of a guessing game until that
last stop, yeah.
Yeah. The last 5 or 10. So Mark's up nicely after a pit lane start.
Yep.
Look at that time Dean just set.
Yeah.
39.9. That's... I couldn't even get to that in qualifying.
Just lazily rolls it out.
Oh, yep, there you go. John just runs one was just as quick off.
Dial working very hard here. Trying to catch Jono. Hello. If we're looking at the dog's breakfast. So let's just fire on with Mark. See if Mark can get any closer. Really good on that one. Can't see much on that one.
Yes, but if only had a Simicube 2, we'll really be up the front, wouldn't you, Mark?
Yeah, Simi Cube 2 and a non-Jamie McKnight setup.
Ooh.
I know, the wheel would just make all the difference. That bang.
Oh,
You'd be-
that's close enough for you. I can see the rear shot.
The Magic Man.
I can see the
The breakfast.
yes. Nuts to all.
I hope the little fella's doing better, Pato, anyway. Pato chasing down McCormick.
He's up 24 spots too, just quietly.
It's a good little battle here for a while.
Look at those lovely ears.
Nicely pricked up.
You think they're aerodynamic that way, or is it more drag?
This sounds like Pato, more bark than bite.
Well, Dumbo had big ears and he could fly. Not that I'm calling Pato Dumbo or anything like that.
He's coming though. Look out.
I don't know, Mark. It might be time for another GoFundMe. What do you reckon?
No, I don't know, mate. We'll see what happens.
And it's pulled away from you, idiot.
And you're just lurking in the background, John.
A little bit further back, yeah. Just trying
Yeah, I
to
was half
look after the
expecting
tyres
you
at this stage.
I was half expecting you to catch up with some of the pressure.
This stage of the second stint, knowing I'd heavy fueled, was just get in the rhythm, look after the tyres.
It's a big thing because you had to. Well, I found for me, I needed to push the brakes forward every probably 3 or 4 laps. Otherwise, if you didn't do it, the pace, like you just burnt the tyres so badly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just left it at 50.6 the whole race.
Yeah, I left it at 50.5.
Yeah, I left mine at 52.7.
Yeah, 50.
Oh, could you get it? Oh, okay. I started at 51.8 and then just started moving forward from there.
This corner right, turn to 10, because I'm watching the YouTube stream, is where I'd lock the front.
Yeah, got me a few times.
Yeah, I found that the hardest corner.
You got out a rhythm off that one, you out the next one.
Then the other one I found was going through Ferrari in 5th and really cutting the apex. You could really get a good drive out of it.
Is that turn 3 or something?
10, 12.
12, that's right near the end. It's the one where you drive right over the blue bit of Ripple Street.
Oh, here you go. Pato, almost. Oh, second time.
No.
Look at Sean on John up there at the moment. Now, I must admit, I was sitting back there a couple of spots back from these guys and looking at the two of these guys fighting and just there was a little part of me hoping to see that big cloud of smoke.
It's a negative way of going about it.
I know.
You had the would you have the little voodoo doll?
Yeah. I was just watching these guys after they come out of the pits, and they were just nose to tail. And I'd already figured Sean had done a shorter stop, so he was lighter on fuel. And I was just watching these two, and I'm just going. I said this to John after the race. I'm going, why? Why are you fighting Sean? Why didn't you just let him go? He wasn't your fight.
Bloody James, just long gone.
Oh yeah, it's like last week. It's like he's just found that extra gear.
Adrian, what was going through your mind at this time? Had you stopped swearing at this stage?
At this point, I was just thinking I just have to drive flat out as fast as I can and see what happens. I had no other choice. Trying not to get any off tracks.
At this point, he had Van Ree in front of him, and he was going, "Oh fuck, what have I done?"
there was quite a few people that I've just thought, I'm just going to go for it.
And of course, you got Moses lurking around in the background, so maybe you might fall off.
Or his parting powers may move up a little further in front of his car and help Zippy out.
James is still keeping Paddo and Dial out.
Doing very well.
Well, Mark's caught back up again.
Yeah, but then obviously his wheel's going to play up and he'll fall back again.
No. Only once in the race did it give me grief.
I think it's about the next 40 laps I get to see Scotty Perrins in my mirror. About this close. Mind you, I was put off around this stage about a joke about a hairpin, but
Sorry, a lack of hairpin.
Yes.
lack of a hair.
All that pin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got really
Hey?
Bruce.
I was about to call in a comms violation against race control.
Whereas McCormack, I think, just spun.
Yep.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
No.
Sorry, James, wasn't you?
Yes, it was. Well, Shane's got through.
Shane got through. I think a little bit of traffic helped the cause there.
So I had chats with Shane and James during the season, and both were very receptive to my comments. It's okay, Shane. I'm not going to fine you $500.
This was such a good battle to watch, even from, the nosebleed section. I am back behind these guys.
Yeah, Sean, we did get through a whole race without any disconnects last night, which was good.
2 weeks in a row for us.
And Anita Buckland, Zippy, would like to know who is the pitcher for Split 2 next season on your bonnet.
Oh, I can't say.
But Gary did send you that picture, didn't he?
No, I think she's asking who on this Delta Goodrum now.
Yeah, if you got Delta, I reckon.
But Anita wants to know, and I'm just making sure Gary sent you through the picture that you
Jen
put on there.
Well, Anita on Facebook today was sending all sorts of pictures.
Well, yes. I've never been so shocked in my life.
Haven't you?
Bloody hacked account.
That's what she said, but I don't know.
Well, it can't be Paddo's dog because that's been used now.
No, it's already painted. It's ready to go, but it's just sitting in the cupboard now for the time being until race 1.
Race 1. There you go. Pretty safe, Anita. Nothing was sent. They sent a wave, and I went, "Nah, that's not Anita."
Yeah, I have to remove you, Anita, until your account is under control again, because I don't know if I'm pretty sure I'll be chatting to the hacked person if they type any messages, so I've got to stop talking to them now.
Didn't you send $5,000 this afternoon, Bucks?
Back markers.
Doing a good job.
Yeah.
It's just hard to be in the right spot in this circuit because it's left, it's right. And, where do you go?
Okay, now Mark's behind James.
Poor James. You just know what's going to happen to him with Mark behind him like that, don't you?
No, the person just sent a message about God, saying, something about God and something's going on in life, but shit, alright, I better go to Gary about this. I think Anita's been hacked. You might want to look into that. Yep, sure enough, she had.
Oh, here he is, the man with all the pace.
Mr. Logsdale is in the house.
Hey, they know.
How we doing?
Good, mate. 8 seconds up the road here.
Yeah, I couldn't get it together in the the first stint, and Brett was driving so well, and I was got under a bit of pressure from Roy, and yeah, he put me off a bit, sticking the nose in there now and again, doing what he needed to do. But yeah, once I got out the pits, I had a bit of a clear run and put the hammer down a bit.
And Zippy finally deciding to move forward. It was like, it's my race with him. No, it's not. Well, what's he doing back here?
Oh, fuck.
At least he didn't touch you when he went past.
I couldn't help myself.
Oh, it was much nicer when he was behind me. At least I got to look at Delta. Now I'm looking at parents.
So somebody we had a big chat for the race. One of my teammates said to me, Bruce, since you haven't been here this season,
Here you go, Scotty.
my race has been a lot cleaner. I've had no penalties or contact with anyone.
2 seasons, by the way, Bruce.
So it was you, Ed. You were the teammate.
Yeah. I killed 2 birds with 1 stone. I was having fun and fulfilled Bruce's little wish.
It wasn't a wish. I just told you it was a prediction. It wasn't a wish.
It wasn't a decision anyways.
It was a bit like the conversation Will Munro and I had today, which was welcome back to Split 2, and I said, damn, now I'll be there for you to hit me.
Well, it's actually all right because he's actually apparently going away for about half the season. So half the season is great racing.
Oh, sensational.
But Roy, that means you're actually going to be in front of him to begin with. If he's going to hit you.
Yeah.
So, Adrian, obviously you're not used to racing 25 to 15 in that group. It's still a tough gig, isn't it?
But again, I think Split 2 for boys going up from Split 3 is very much the same as Split 3, whereas on your day you will be up the front, and then when it's not your day, you're going to go from a top 10 starting position to mid pack, and then you're still fighting for every spot, tooth and nail.
And also that probably, I've been racing since season 13 or season 12. I had pretty much 6 seasons where I was always in the middle of the pack anyway. So I was used to it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely improved tenfold.
So the thing I noticed the season that I spent in Split 2 is it felt like I was stone motherless last every single race, but I actually think I ended up top 50% of the championship just from consistency.
And that's what I was sort of thinking today with the difference this season compared to the first season. The first season I did V8s. If you crashed, you still had a chance to get a top 5 because everyone else would crash. Now the drivers are so much more faster and more consistent now. It's a bloody hard gig to get in the top 10.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Split 3 is scary.
Because people never make mistakes, right? They don't run out of fuel or anything like that.
Or
Yeah,
just go
the
4
good ones.
times.
Yeah.
Get this go 4 times.
Yeah. So yeah,
But, I mean,
it's a big
well,
difference.
speeding in the pits, you wouldn't think, it's going to slap you that hard, but it does.
Yeah. It's happened to me once before, and it bloody kills you. So but look, it's just all learning things. A lot of things, I go through your head when you're racing these days. Because I'm up in there the top 10. I'm sort of like I'm giving it a go. So yeah, it would be nice to have a crew chief and all that sort of stuff.
So I think the irony about iRacing is you probably get a harder penalty for speeding in the pits than you do than we give out when you take someone out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it'd be good if you could adjust those penalty times, but I don't think iRacing going to come to the party for us.
Well, you've got to ask them, which means we're going to send an email.
So Darren Sheriff's first man to blink for the second stop.
Yeah, I think he's tried something a bit the undercut, try to go in early. I did see him go in.
He had a short first pit stop too, I think. So, because he generally, and I'm going to generalise, takes a small amount of fuel on the first stop, I've noticed, especially the second half of the season anyway.
Yeah.
But didn't he spin out at the start, near the start? And
Yeah, he did. So that's
Yeah.
why I think he took a short fill to sort of get back up.
Make
to the
up for the spin-off.
Yeah.
He's done well to come back.
Look at this. These boys are just going hard, and Andrew's just driving up to the back of them.
Hmm.
As I said, this was from the moment they left the pits. They were just glued together.
He just didn't have the pace to catch up to that group, right?
Yeah, well, I'm 20 kilos heavier. And, you know, you forget sometimes that extra weight. Like, I tried to go with them at the start.
IRL or game?
Yeah, game.
Or sim, sorry. Sim.
Yeah.
It's a simulator, you can't say game.
Yeah, you get suspended.
Nowhere near it. Later, the cars would be acting like a real thing.
It's because of the setup, you know that.
No, it's the moron who makes it.
How's Dean going, John?
Dean.
I love setups.
Dean's long gone. He left.
He's probably already crossed the finish line.
He's already running in split 2.
Yeah. Yeah, he's caught up. He's caught up with Blake too.
Dara loves his setups.
Is that a Scotty?
No, that
I
was
love.
John. This was John, and I was like, oh, he's
Oh,
got
no, it
chance.
is Scotty. No, Scotty's in here. There you go,
Oh,
Scotty.
yeah.
Praise.
Yeah, good Scotty.
Yeah, like a hole in the head, Scotty.
Come on.
We know he's got plenty of holes in his head, so you know.
No.
Jamie.
I can't say his name.
You love it. You'd be lost without him.
Mm.
He would, wouldn't he?
It's a love-love relationship there, isn't it?
If the setups weren't there, what would you have to whinge about?
It's his excuse to talk to Jamie. You know that.
Well, I've never spoken. The only time I've ever spoken to Jamie is when he's in the same channel. And that's very rare.
Well, when you get that new wheel, you'll be up in split 1 and you can chat all you want.
Yep.
Well, he's supposed to be buying it. He's supposed to be buying the wheel. He's been telling me for seasons he's going to get it.
Well, like I said, we do another GoFundMe. $20 per player, roughly. That's $3,000.
So Brett's doing extremely well here. 28 laps, holding on second spot.
Yeah.
Done really well.
Yeah.
Enjoyed the new wheel.
Nearly 10 seconds behind, but he's doing okay.
Yeah.
We need a GoFundMe page for Mark to get Jamie. For Mark to get a Jamie McKnight doll.
That's a
No,
special
that's
website, isn't it? Where you got to send special photos off or something?
That was from Brett. I didn't come out with that. That was from Mr. Fisher.
I've got something.
Oh, okay. He's got his doll organised. Okay.
No, come on.
Explain.
Got
It might be one of those rubber ones with a hole in it, with 3 holes in it. But they condone that in bets. Or do we?
Well, smoke up ahead here.
The smoke must be Scotty.
Sean. Shawnee.
There was a slight heart attack when I saw the car reversing a little bit there.
And Ed Cullen heads down the lane. And Roy Clark still under a lot of pressure from Jeremy Bush.
Yeah, I think there are words that Jeremy wants to use to describe me, but none of them are very nice at this point.
Fabio, not one of them.
He was so quick through this section of the track.
Of course, he's picking over little twitches like that.
Yeah, yeah. I was driving the car like it was on rails then. Yeah.
You've been split 2 before, haven't you, Roy?
Yeah, I was split 2 last season.
It didn't go too well. You just didn't race much.
Just had one of those seasons where you know.
Well, you got
have
Blake's
an
like
accident every now and
Roy's actually been split 1 before. So's Bulldog. So's Bulldog. So nice spot spark. So's Bulldog. So's Clark. So's Dial.
Sounds Andrew.
I've been split 1 as well.
Are you talking about when we were all just one split
Yeah,
together?
that was split 1.
Yeah, you fucking
Exactly.
cheating dog.
Don't be splitting hairs, Mark. Come on.
Oh, sorry, I had to be.
You can't let facts get in the way of a good story. What are you doing?
Sorry. It's just when you said Mark, I started thinking, hang on a second. We were all just one split then.
Split 1,
I
yeah.
remember Bugs taking me out at Sebring. One.
Did you deserve it though?
No.
Who?
Are you sure?
No.
Me?
Definitely.
No, not you.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you did. If I did it.
It may have been the other way around, but you know.
Sebring, I had a run-in with someone
Yes,
who shall
Mario.
remain nameless.
Nameless Mario.
Mario Real.
And he may have copped a few colourful words over
Yes,
the bomb,
yes,
but
I remember that.
that was before we had
Yeah.
voice comms control.
I still think the funniest one was Scotty and Nürburgring and Jamie getting
Yeah.
DQ'd.
Yep.
That was the funniest one ever.
Yeah.
Hey, still got the race win though, didn't he? But anyway.
That's the
I was-
classic.
Hazy here, keeping a bit of pressure on Dave Galley. And a couple of pit stops happening now as well, with Logsdale in the lane. And seen Brett Fisher do his second stop.
So at this stage,
Coming in, we're all coming in.
So, A, I saw all this smoke, and
oh,
B,
look at that.
I went, everybody's pitted. There's a bonus point for leading a lap here. So I stayed out.
Smart thinking by Roy Clark.
Yeah, I did notice you get that extra point.
So that was my thinking, and then the tyres were shot so badly.
Just a quick update on Brett there. He's got in pitted, been released, no fuel, no tyres.
Oh, that hurts.
As he was trying to find that pit limiter button, he's turned his pit stop.
Oof.
So the new wheel wasn't quite everything it was cracked up to be.
So
If it
he had
was
to
a
go
sprint
around
race?
again. Yeah, he had to go around again and pit again. So,
But one of those things where you've got new wheel, new buttons. Fucking,
Yep.
You come out under pressure and you can't. Oh shit! You know,
Where did I put it? Yep.
Anyway,
So I'm doing this lap here,
yep.
and then I think, where's the start-finish line? Where am I positioned on this in the pits? Am I going to cross the finish line if I pit on this lap, or am I going to blow it and lose the not leading the lap, because technically it had me as third at this point of the lap. So I don't pit again this next lap. Which at 3 seconds slower than the tyres they were, I've probably cost myself about 6 seconds in these 2 laps. Oh, look at you two. Hey, you should go see Bruce Tannick with that sort of drifting skills.
so I promised to take him out for dinner tomorrow night, but
Here comes the sheriff. And the tyres, my tyres are shot now. So it's like, yeah, okay. Might have to do that stop now. A lap earlier than I thought.
yeah, well, I was on a very green ones, John. I
Well,
run out of road. I'm going up, going. Oh, there's no more road.
well, I've had numerous times my eagle-eyed reporter, has gone out and done driver profiles for me. And tonight, he's asked me to actually throw to our pit commentator for it. So he's actually, I don't know, this bloke's the flavour of the month around here. I don't know why everyone keeps thinking about it. But he's asked me tonight if I can get Zippy Zelle to read out the driver profile.
Is Dean still in? Dean still in here? Dean, you here?
Yeah, Dean's here.
Yeah.
Dean, I've been doing some research on you, and I've come up with some things about you.
Interesting.
Dean Logsdale, nicknamed Logger, born in London, now lives in Dickey Beach, Queensland. Gets his racing bug from being an ex-motocross rider, with slowing him down. Has a competitive nature and likes to succeed in his pursuits, and has been known to do the happy dance when he beats his father at go-kart racing on Father's Day, and sends him loser emojis for days after, even resorting to getting his kids to send them too. His passion for speed derived from his first experience in the big red car at his first Wiggles concert many moons ago. A true romantic who sold his boat to buy his wife's engagement ring, and loves to take her out to lavish restaurants and enjoys the finer things in life. A dotting dad and enjoys his time with his kids. A member of the Vets' huge Rabbit Club, and even though he's bald, he still pinches his wife's shampoo and has pondered to drawing hair on his head to make himself look younger. These days he spends his downtime in the Moffat Beach Brewery sipping on deadbeat boyfriends and psychotic girl ales, and tells everyone he's going to be the next James Bond. Welcome to the Vets, Dean. Congratulations on your season, and look forward to watching your progress in seasons to come.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, that's a bit of a stitch up, isn't it?
Is that the Sean Connery James Bond, or
What's that?
is that the Sean Connery James Bond? I mean, he was bald, wasn't he?
Yes, he is
I'll
bald.
take that one.
So yes, did some digging on you, Dean.
I guess.
Yeah, thanks, Zippy.
So
I got the blame for that.
moral of the story is if you go in a dry sack and you need to call a penalty, don't call it a hairpin because Bruce won't help you.
I'll remember that.
By the sounds of it, Dean won't help you either.
Nah, we're done, Zippy.
Is that true about your dad, Dean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, we're a very competitive family, and I do love to beat him.
Dad is chomping at the bits to get in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
In the
no,
vets, so-
he started sim racing a few months ago, and he's about 5 seconds off the pace at the moment, but he's getting quicker all the time. So maybe season 21 we might see.
Yeah, his name's
might
on
see
the
the old man in there, 72 years old.
Wow. Wow.
his name's already on the list for 21.
Yeah, he's watching now, actually.
Darren, the babyface assassin, is putting a lot of pressure on your head.
Yeah, well, he's in the shadow sandwich.
Yep.
He's the meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, he is young, so you would expect it. I mean, look at that baby face. Like,
I mean,
did somebody
I've got
really check his ID?
three or four races now towards the end there, you know, in that top 10, just outside that top 10. We've been racing together, so very similar.
Don't worry, Roy, it's been checked about 5 times. So Marty Hughes is the last guy in top 10 still to make a stop.
Oh, Marty's still going.
Yep.
7-8. Marty's tyres last.
No, done very well.
Don't know how he did that. Bloody hell.
Got Shawnee all over him. Not for long. Ooh. Oh, no.
What were the pit
There's
stop
plenty of
times
room.
again? Can we say that or not?
The seconds pit stop times, yep.
Yeah. Oh no, the first pit stop times.
No, I haven't got those anymore.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Just want to know how long Marty was in the pits the first time. If he has a short fill or a long fill.
Oh, his first full fill was 41 seconds, so he had a long fill.
He had the biggest one.
You
of
won't
everyone.
lose. Won't lose out too much, then.
I mean, look at Jeremy. He was 17 seconds because he had a really quick, long first stop as well. If he hadn't have been stuck behind a roadblock all race, he might have been up there giving Dean a bit of a hurry along.
Yeah, he was catching me a little bit there. I had to keep an eye on that.
Very smooth operator now, Jeremy.
Interesting little battle forming there. It's 16th down.
Yeah, Ross.
Scotty all over the back of there for a while. Just thinking, Scotty will be alright. He'll just keep it. He won't try anything silly.
Oh, Willie.
Well, you got the spicy chicken on the back of your car. What do you expect?
You just got to keep asking yourself, what has been the Varg's influence here?
I nearly got you there. At one stage.
Scotty's been quite consistent throughout his practice and missing around racing. It's come a long way.
I have to say his qualifying pace has been pretty bloody good.
Good,
There's been a lot of times that he has been... I've looked at the times and went, I can't get to that time. So some of the pace he's shown for his one lap speed has been sensational.
And he stopped line.
Thanks.
And his skill at calling in penalties where he gets the penalty has improved as well.
Yeah, stop calling those ones in.
Yeah.
Who are you harassing in?
Don't worry, Joseph's doing really well at the back here as well.
Rosie. Sorry, not Rosie. That would be Rod.
Right, yeah.
Is it 37 yet?
Oh.
At corner 37?
Yeah.
Can we go to corner 37?
corners?
Yeah. There is if you count them a couple of times.
Look, Marty's just pitted, so
Starting to see the top 10 settle down.
Yeah, you haven't seen Bulldog since that one out in the gravel.
It's one of the sort of things you notice when you're typing into a spreadsheet. You're typing in car 37, lap 37. Hang on.
I laughed when I heard it called in. And that wasn't car 37.
No, that's why I had to return it backwards.
I mean, Dave's one of those guys, very busy, family and work commitments, and probably doesn't get to practice as much as what he used to when the kids were younger. So, no, he has good nights, has bad nights. Last night just wasn't one of those nights, unfortunately.
he's still doing quite well at 26.
Yeah.
Well, he's actually up a position considering he was in the wall on lap 1.
Yeah.
It just goes to show not giving up.
Yeah. Keeping an eye on the black stuff.
And also goes to show you don't have to be at the pointy end and have fun racing.
Well, we all know why he's not in the chat tonight, because there was only one winner from the Powerball last night, so he must be out celebrating. He's from South Australia.
They haven't looked at Port playing at home tonight.
I thought it might have been Laurie won it.
Yeah, Port are playing at home.
Yeah,
Yes.
so he'll be.
Yeah, well,
That's where he'll be. So lap 37, blue 37, Port Adelaide.
Oh no, I knew that.
And car 007 in front. What could happen here? Is place at turn 37, turn 7, 007, car 37 on lap 37.
Someone likes James Bond.
Oh wait, they're a lap down. Is he a lap down?
No, I'm not showing a lap down on my system.
No.
I wouldn't have
Both
thought
on
at
the same
26 they were a lap down.
No, it's car 37 on my spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
Well, maybe they are a lap down. Dean's
Well,
just
now
too
they're on
fast.
turn 10.
Dean's too fast, I think. Not close enough. Dean starts lap 38, which will be their lap 37. So, yeah. They have been lapped. Sorry.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Oh, well, we can go back and watch lap 37 again.
Go back on board it.
38, which is 37.
He needs airtime anyway.
They see the bubbles.
The illegal bubbles. I think they're outside the
I
bubbles.
do like how that livery almost looks like a solid colour from a distance and gets more detail and closer colour. It's very well done.
He puts a lot of time into his liveries.
Turn 1.
Gonna count them all again.
Oh, bit loose.
Yeah, I'll get a bit.
Hit him on the replay.
Oh,
37.
familiar, John?
Doesn't it?
Ah, except Rob gave
That's
me
how you
room.
do it.
Yes, right. Notice that there was no contact. It is
Yeah,
possible.
well, Rob gave me room.
Good heads up driving there.
Oh!
Was good heads up driving.
Wow, what did he do? Tap him 37 times there or what?
Yeah. So,
They bulldog you, dirty driver.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think we watched that live and we're going, redress it, come on, redress it, don't make me the bad guy, redress it. But nope, just drove off into the sunset.
You love being the bad guy.
He rode his pony off into the sunset. Is that what you're saying?
Mark Dial up 20 positions.
Yeah.
Good run, good run.
you'd hear a few toys were thrown out of the cot, but that's all right.
Because he knew he had to start from the pit lane.
No, it had nothing to do with it. It was just there was no consistency in the track group. It was
Why'd you have to
different
start from the
every
pit lane?
single night. Well, somebody that you haven't taught how to drive yet got me away last week.
Who was that?
One of your teammates.
Okay.
And,
Okay,
and
So
did
no
you
matter
hit?
what,
Did you hit them?
The
No.
last corner.
Now, Mark had a bad run at Sonoma, and then he had one more penalty last week, which pushed him over a little bit.
So maybe I taught them well enough just not to get out the way.
Well, maybe you just could have taught them better to go through the last corner at more than walking pace.
No, what's the fun in that?
It was absolutely.
Oh, what's this? Is this pass of the century or?
Lined up. Up there we go.
Big close driving.
This was fun.
Oh,
Clean, John. Clean.
Mark thinking he can make some
Oh.
bank, which he's doing.
oh,
Oh,
is that Bruce Tannicking again? Was that a slide? Was that drifting?
Yeah.
It's good driving by Ross.
Ooh.
He didn't, you know,
Didn't panic.
and he didn't, try to get it back. And
I was a bit closer than Jason in some stages.
And I was happy to have a spicy chicken off my butt. See something different.
Oh, look at this.
No, I was just playing games with him.
Even
I
noticed
was
you
just
do that.
playing games. I knew I didn't have the braking ability to get through anyone in that corner, so I thought I'll just stick it out there and get out of the mirrors, and he'll think, oh,
He's going to have a go.
where the hell's he gone? I did that to a few drivers last night. Just out of the mirrors.
That was probably the opportunity I gave you, was that lock up.
yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
it's a little bit wide there.
But then, yeah, coming back in, that was just too short a shoot to stick it up the inside. I'd have done an edge.
Give him a cuddle. Just give him a cuddle.
Where's Zippy?
Now I tried a couple of times with you, John, in dry soft.
Zippy's up to 13th now. That's a good recovery. 41-second loss in the pits.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I was just going as hard as I possibly could. Just hoping for a miracle.
Safety car, safety car.
Yeah, I gave you a flash of the lights when I let you by, because that when you went by, the driver in front and actually let me through as well. So that was the flash of the lights I gave you.
So Ed, you and Fish got a bit interesting there for a while. Because it was like, you let him through, you're not, and then you'd let Fish through, and then he'd slide it in front of you, and you'd have to go back past again.
Here comes Scotty. Oh, nice moves. Can he make it stick?
So,
Oh,
maybe not.
No here.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, Scotty,
he's
Scotty,
done
Scotty. Nice work, mate.
oh. Yeah, but Ross is also really driving well.
Yeah, very well. And from all accounts, he has had a ball of a season too, so.
You can have just so much fun when they swing the gate properly.
The hardest charges point, Nick up 22 spots, Dial up 21.
Bruce, yeah, so I got him when he was angry. So,
Yeah, we could tell.
and so I'm trying to drive with the angry man for 10 laps, and I wanted him to go because he was so much quicker, and I've got my goal of sitting in the top 10, and he kept sliding, bumping. You know, he
I
get
think it's
behind
happening
me
right.
and
I
come
think it's
back
happening
again.
right now, actually, because you're only like a 10th behind him.
And he wasn't communicating with us either.
No, he'd gone all
Channel.
quiet. You know when he's mad when he goes quiet, he swears,
Yeah.
and then he goes quiet. And he had a bloody ball terror with Darren. Him and Darren were like 15 laps, really, really hard.
And considering he did an extra stop than anyone else, he gets
Yeah,
good
he's-
recovery.
So that's interesting, Zippy. Like, so Brett's had to come back and pit again for a full pit stop. Ended up in the top 10, but you ended up back in the pack. Was there another issue that you had, or was it?
Yeah, but remember, Zippy's got a 41-second hold there. Like, so that's it's more than a 41 seconds is a stop and 75 litres of fuel.
Brett didn't have to pit, did he? Wasn't it just another drive-through?
Yeah, one was basically a drive. He stopped and like a stop and go, and then he pitted. So I reckon it's a lot less time than Zippy lost.
Right. Because I couldn't quite work out. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Brett's was more like a pull in, stop and go penalty.
Yeah.
Whereas Zippy was sitting there for 41 seconds, which it's like, I think
Like
when
a
we looked at
lifetime.
those, when we looked at those pit times before, 41 seconds, I think Marty's pit stop was 40 odd seconds and he took a big drink, and I know I took 75. And I know Jeremy took more again than I did, so, and Marty took again on top of that, so.
Yeah, but I put in 65 litres, and my 40 seconds didn't start until I finished filling my car up.
Doing your pit, yeah. Who's that on your bonnet there, Mark? Al Pacino.
Oh, Brando.
Brando.
Not cat.
I'm not that old. See? I'm a young 45, alright? What can I say?
Keeping the pressure on your dial. Hmm? I noticed that. I noticed from here I was able to, the next 3 corners I was able to stamp away.
Superior driving skill, really, I think.
Direct drive.
It was just one
Direct
train back
drive.
at a time coming in the back.
So Adrian, what's going on with the team boss? I noticed his performance this season has been back a little bit compared to where I expected him to sort of be running.
And good night,
Oh.
Fanatec.
Oh! What? What's going on there?
It's
No,
just
I-
John
we'll
was
just-
too good for him
we'll
out the
do-
corner.
We'll turn it off.
Oh,
Sorry, what was that
Long-
with the green boss?
I said, what's going on with the team boss? He's back a bit further than I would expect him this season. He hasn't. I sort of expect him to be sort of 10 to 15, P10 to P15, whereas he seems to be running more around P20 this season.
Story
Yeah,
has story has it. Sorry, Zippy. Story has it that Andrew has, as we've all seen, he's rigged with his quad screens and extra other screens on the side. Rumor has it he's actually got a second computer running so that he can watch the race at the same time, and he's got that set on Zippy's car.
No. Andrew's had a disastrous year with the start with everyone, getting disconnected and all that sort of stuff. And like I said at the start, it's just that the pace has been so good. It's just been very even. You can look at the names, and even Perrins is in 16th spot. And I've seen him win a race. He's always been up near the front. So it's a lot harder now. You've really got to put that game in. You've got to bring that. You've got to bring your A game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, Adrian, I definitely remember that race where Scotty undercut me to get in front and then go on to win. Yeah, I remember that. Definitely remember that race at Road Atlanta. Thanks for bringing that up.
And that's a 10-second penalty.
Thanks, Zippy.
Stop it all.
Mate, now he can go jump. Bloody race control scumbag.
You're assuming that we don't talk across splits. Oh, silly man, Adrian.
Like even
And
John,
besides,
yeah,
I don't know what split I'm in next season. You may have me next season.
I might, yeah. Well, see, Mark, I remember Mark thrashing the number Newberg, whatever you call that ring, and John. I've seen John win a race too. So it's bloody hard.
Bruce, I've just updated the spreadsheet, mate. It's all sorted.
Right, cool.
So we're on the last couple of laps, and I'm having one last shot at John. I've half the distance to him in 2 laps.
So that was the one little mistake that Darren made.
And off he went.
Yeah, and I've gone in too. So, but that battle had gone on for about 15 laps. It was just great to sit back and watch. But now I've got Darren on my bum. Angry.
You got Zippy, but you're sitting behind John here. You got a couple of extra bonus points for your laps led.
Yeah, and I was just like trying to get to him and just see what I could do. So I think at one stage I set a time almost as quick as my qualifying time after and my tyres were a bit newer because I had to go for so much longer.
Geez, at this stage of the race, the only option you really got is try and feed him off somewhere.
Yeah. Bin it, or have him or have him off, have him off.
Schumacher Hill, Adelaide.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Pray for Nico.
Yeah.
Do it.
Or play for a dropout. Pray for a dropout. Yeah. It was. I threw everything I had at him in the last few laps just to get to him, and
Now he's walking away again.
I kept it to sort of within that, got it under that second mark, and was like, okay, we're here, we're close. It's just that, as I said before, with poor Jeremy, he couldn't get past me because as long as you hit your marks and make the corner, it doesn't matter if you're a little bit slower.
Aaron Lidos still putting pressure on Ed.
Giving Ed a hard time after it.
Hanging around like a hemorrhoid.
Yep, that's me. But the gloves are off now in the last lap.
Gloves well and truly off. Dean Logsdale is 5.5 seconds up the road from Jeremy. So these are all crucial points for the championship. Logsdale sitting in 7th, Bush in 11th at the moment. So a couple of good results could change the standings dramatically. It'll be very, very interesting to see how this one finishes up. But Dean definitely been one of the big improvers of the season. Looking forward to seeing what he does next season, as he's definitely well in control here as he comes around into the Alex Crivier corner for the final time. Lovely, neat, clean exit through Ferrari and into Jorge Lorenzo for the final time to take another crushing race win. And that is an awesome result from Dean Logstar. Well done, Dean.
Yeah, well done.
Well done, Dean.
Flash of the
Thanks,
headlights.
boys.
Second,
Thank you.
Mr. Bush.
Well done, Dean.
John Fillingham in third. Fourth in this race will be Mr. Clark. And Shane van der Meulen will bring the green machine home in fifth, ahead of Daniel Sheriffs. And then in seventh, Brett Fisher, ahead of Ed and Darren. Linus in ninth. Pete Kelleher will bring it home in 10th. Great drive from Pete, up 9
Oh,
spots.
that was a good recovery.
Andrew Galley in 11th.
Oh, who's that?
James.
Sit on this one. I'm about to put my hand up. I have sent an apology.
Is it Linus or is it Linz?
I don't know.
Linus.
Now look how close I am to Marty. There's the significance in that. 0.5.
Oh, go, John.
Oh, hang your head.
So there you go, Mr.
Wow.
Bearings. There you go, Mr. Dial. You can have that spot. Anyway, but tonight's race is all about Dean.
Quickly changes the subject.
Yeah.
Hey,
You know who I am? I am JVR.
Hey, yeah, if I was JVR, I wouldn't show that, would I? If I was really as bad as you're telling.
No, that's true.
Don't mention the unsafe rejoin.
Yeah, I was worth a try. It was worth a try.
It was.
Oh, sorry. You mentioned half the story. That's all right.
Anyway, so Dean, congratulations on winning round 10, mate. How'd you find that one?
Yeah, no, that was it was a good race, and I was under a bit of pressure there for the first stint, and it was just about managing it after that. But I really enjoyed it. Loved the track too.
Yep. And how did you find the traffic? That one,
The traffic,
lap traffic.
as in like the
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. There was a couple where I sort of got trapped for a few corners, but on the most part, people were very respectful as they are in this league. So I was always keeping an eye on that gap, and I could see a couple of times they got caught as well. So it enabled me to maintain that gap. It was good.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank A. Huntley Stoneworks, Brick and Stoneworks in Adelaide, and I want to give a shout out to my wife for letting me spend all this time on this film and these lonely nights she has spending eating dinner on her own with the kids, so I can put the practice in. But and obviously yourself, John, and all the whole team, race control. And all the drivers. Like I said, it's my first season. I've had a great time and excellent experience. Great racing Zippy and all the boys and Roy last night. So, looking forward to next season.
And Jeremy Bush was home in second. He's not with us. John Fillingham sent a message, but we might just go have a look at the final standings because I think that's what everyone's sitting and waiting for. So, and that didn't.
Dean,
very
you're
well.
actually doing the wife a favour because if you weren't racing, she'd be asking you when are you going to go race.
Yes. Something
Well,
like that.
that's right,
There we
yeah.
go. We'll fix that up like that. So the winner of season 19, split 3 of the RaceKraft Simulations V8 Vets is John Fillingham on 1381. Roy Clark is finishing second on 1374 and 1 point ahead of Zippy Zelle. Third was Dean Logstar. So well done, boys. It's a huge jump.
Excellent. I'm unlucky,
that
Zippy.
That 0.4 is cost me the third spot.
Yeah,
0.4. But no, just
that's very unlucky, mate. Very unlucky.
you say that now, you're laughing all the way to the bank.
I am a little bit.
Anyway,
Especially after that speech you made about me.
And look at that, got so much fuel that
he's
still
got
enough
to
to do
burn
a
out.
burnout.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Roy,
even make it back to the start line.
And hit a wall.
Roy, back in second. I think you were one of the ones that were a bit like, what am I doing in split 3? Why am I here? Been good to see you actually race and get some RaceKraft confidence back. So is there anyone you want to give a shout out to, mate?
Just my guys, Banter Alliance, obviously also EKW guys as well, who we generally all race together over Vets Night, and as I said, I did have Marty in there helping me out last night as well. Our sponsors, Frosty's Kitchens, Grundy's Waste, Grandview Remedial Massage, Bursons, and what is it? The Testing and Commission Association is our other sponsor on the car there. Don't ask me what they do. I really need to find that out, but they take up a fair bit of our car. And just really everybody in the league. I have to say, I have had an absolute ball this season, being in season 3, back in split 3. Being with a lot of guys that started vets with me, and just how competitive it's been. I mean, there's been nothing between the top 15 people in this, probably the top 20 really, and on any day, except somebody who can't do burnouts and keeps taking the rear wing off his car.
Doing really well there, yeah.
Well, now it's gone.
But yeah, it's been a blast. So looking forward to next year as well, next season as well.
Season split 2, probably so. Anyway, good luck with that one.
Well, I did try to convince Bruce that I really hadn't done that well this season, and I probably should stay down here for one more. And he told me other words instead.
You are where you are. Yeah.
Yeah,
Does Nick Housley get driver of the day for that round, or?
Yeah, we've still got to pick driver of the day. We haven't got the other one.
You're actually number 1 on my list, Mr. Clark, so you are gone.
So
Actually, I think Mr. Clark got the wrong email address to send the PayPal through to Bruce. That was what the problem was.
yeah.
I have to say, I think it's a close one with Nick and John, because he held it together, made up 7 spots to take the championship. So I think that'll be a close one with Nick.
No, I only said Nick because he made up the most positions, or he was the highest position for the most positions.
Yeah, no, I agree totally. But like John held it together to win the championship. That's,
I mean, it was a tiny,
impressive.
and he started from 10th, so he drove through the field like, okay, it was 7 positions, but that was important. If he'd have got stuck back, then I could have clearly won the championship if he hadn't have had passing skills and race ability.
Yeah.
No, I'm happy. I reckon Nick Hazlitt, driver of the day. Happy with that one.
Yeah.
I'll pay that. We'll go there.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So,
Or Internet of the Week.
Internet of the week. Yeah, it all stayed together.
Well done,
Yeah.
Nick.
Yeah.
John, while you're here, jump on my Kyle off and you can watch some of the best netcode you'll ever see with 2 cars going inside each other without actually touching each
Where
other.
is Mike? Where did he start? Down there.
Don't you have a Moses button?
Part the seas.
Yeah.
Moses.
So not this turn, but the next one. Just keep an eye
Yeah.
on him.
Well, we'll just let it sit here. John Fillingham couldn't make it this evening, so he did send a message. He wanted me to thank everybody for the kind words that have been said about him over the season. He wanted to also show his appreciation to the East Coast League. He said that driving in the league has prepped him so well for each week of vets. So he's really enjoyed prep work that he gets out of East Coast. And yeah, wants to thank all the other drivers and the team over at Veteran Gaming Australia. So a great effort from John, come in as a rookie, work hard and make his way. God, where are you going?
Oh, look at that.
Whoa, look at that.
That is so really that's just Coraliff just.
You can make that. We can make that. We can make that. We're good. We're good. We're good.
It is,
No,
it is
That's
Moses.
that's
okay?
just Moses just parting Dave Galley.
I will make you invisible.
Yeah.
Is there a hack there that we don't know about?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
he's got a little lag switch or something like that.
yeah, the Moses.
Hey, look at
switch.
that. Dave Galley touches the next car and he's sideways. So
Mm.
it's definitely Moses.
Now going back to this $600 thing to run a livery. Let me see if I can load this up. I am going to be running a car that is sand color as the base. Name. I can find this. Give me a second while I keep talking. So it is that my car for next season.
Oh,
So
jeez.
that will be the steed that I will be racing. It is sand color. It will have Sandman written on the back of it still. And also you can probably tell from that we have a new driver in the WKMP team next season, hopefully in split one. Mr. Jim Caparonis. So welcome aboard, Jim.
Jimbo.
Now official Jim, so we can say it loud. But yeah, Jim's come and joined the WKMP group. So anyway, if you're happy to pay $600 for me to race that to Dementia Australia, I'm happy to take it. If not, come talk to me. Show me livery you want me to race, and we'll then discuss it with Jim. Anyway, I just thought I'd just show that just so that everyone was aware, and that one's the wrong.
It does look good.
It looks really good.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's that story there. Okay, season 19 done, dusted, put in the box. Just got the broadcast tomorrow night of Split 2 for Hamish and Scotty G, and that is the season done and dusted. We've gotten our 150 drivers entered, so a huge thank you for everybody getting those entries in and getting them sorted very quickly. Still about half a dozen need to get their fees sorted up in the next week, and already got the fees sorted. Can you please drop yourself into clicking the league invite so that I can get names and numbers and all sorts of things fixed in the back end of
Well, should
the
we
league.
just do that now, John, so we can show everybody how to get into that league?
No, there is a post in Discord
I know,
somewhere. Yeah.
don't worry.
Yeah. So it is, yeah, if you can get that done, it makes my life a lot easier in finalising getting all that sorted. As I said, we've got 8 new guys coming in. Keep an eye out for Simon Haynes. He's talked the talk. Going to be interesting to see in season 20 if he can walk the walk.
He'll be straight into split one, won't he?
No,
No.
he'll be strong.
He's definitely split, at least split 2.
I would have thought split one.
Oh, we'll see.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell, exactly. It's one thing being fast, it's another thing being able to race in traffic, as we all talk about. I did put a post out earlier, but I will back that up again. I just want to say a huge thank you to the race control team. Those guys come in every week, do what they do, which is not an easy gig at times, particularly when drivers and everyone get hot under the collar and come in all guns blazing. Or try the
That
professional.
never happens. What are you talking about?
oh.
Never.
Or try the professional approach and go, you know, surely that's a unsafe region.
Yeah.
Yeah, so want to thank or congratulate the podium place guys on each split as well. And of course, the other one, I want to thank everyone for racing. I want to thank everyone for watching too. Like, I know that Sandpit gets like 40 plus people watching each Friday night. Thank you for coming, sharing your Friday evenings with us. And also those that watch the other broadcasts with Hamish and SimSpeed. Want to take the time to thank the committee members as well. There is a fairly...
There you go, John. That's a little message
Ooh.
for you in the...
thank you, Shane. I greatly appreciate that. We'll get
For
on...
the new entering drivers, John, when will the pre-qual tracks be up so they can...
we were going to have a committee meeting
Perhaps get
tonight, but it didn't happen. So we'll be having a committee meeting in the next 3 or 4 days and then
Shame on you.
we'll announce
Shame.
that track that we're going to use. We're only going to use one track, so we'll announce that track
Oh.
and what the dates will be for that. And of course, that's only open to. It's only for practice will be for everybody if they want to jump in, but it'll only be the qualifying for the 8 new drivers and the guys on the wait list. I think there's about 16 drivers doing the quali. Just continuing on. Oh yeah, I want to thank Jamie McKnight for his setups. Shut up, Mark. I want to thank. I want to thank Carl. I want to thank Carl Pickering. He looks after our social media. You know, and it's really impressive. Like this broadcast tonight and Hamish's broadcasts and all that sort of stuff. You know, he's got that up, basically saying we're live and all those sorts of things. A huge thank you to Reg James. He does a lot of our artwork. For winning winners and all of that sort of stuff, and the people getting milestones and various other things like track guides and track maps and all those sorts of things. Reg is moving house as well, so you know, and has a job on the other side of town. So I don't know where he finds the time to do it, but he does. And the rest of the boys on the committee, Bruce, you've done a sensational job with your data analysis, which really helps us make decisions as a league moving forward. And of course, mate, your wealth of knowledge from within iRacing and the leagues as well. And the other boys on the committee, like I said before, you know, it's a tireless job. I'd really want to thank Dave Coleman. Dave Coleman took on the role this year, or he's taken on the role as chief race steward, but previous seasons or race control previous seasons. This seasons we've called him the race control administrator. His job doesn't stop after race night. He's constantly dealing with queries, dealing with the points and all those sorts of things. For a young bloke who, you know, isn't a driver and doesn't have skin and his only skin in the game is his teammates. Greatly appreciate everything you do, Dave. Also want to thank Scotty Van Loon. Stepped up into the management role this season. And Scotty, you know, he's a tireless worker for what he does. Just ditches me off, goes to Europe in the middle of season changes, but talk about that later, Scott. No, Scott does a tireless job, and you know, he's been the backbone behind our connection with RaceKraft and a few other things like that as well. So couldn't do it without Scott. And I want to send out a huge thank you to Luke Holland. Luke's stepped up. I think it was around round 13 with Cam Veacock. Luke basically took the lead role and ran the league as an administrator up until the end of this season. Luke's going to take a bit of a step back. He's still there in the background, but he's taking a bit of a step back to concentrate on work and family. And you know, same thing again as another young bloke under 40. You know, I think the league's going to be
too young to race himself.
Yeah, too young to race himself, exactly. I think the league's forever going to be in his debt, and everything that he's taught me over the last couple of seasons working with him. Now I can say the league is in a very, very good shape and a very good position moving forward. And he's done very well with that. So I think, shut up, making noises at me.
I thought that was your wife.
That was my wife.
And thanks to John for putting the league together and helping run it and do all the rest of the stuff that we don't actually know about.
Yeah. And also just want to quickly say that Scotty Rankin is going to organise a bit of a NASCAR mini-series in the off-season, so keep an eye out for that as well.
But he is going to put together a video on how to use NASCAR rules.
He is he?
Yeah, he is now.
So keep an eye out for that. Just want to say it is a huge, like when you sit back and look at the fact we've got 150 plus, race control, people wanting to be in the league, team spotters, team hangers-ons and stuff. And we produce over 6 hours of content each week on streaming, and we really have a great bunch of blokes. We really have a great atmosphere. Really enjoy Friday nights coming in and having a bit of a banter. And I think that's what this league's really all about. And I'm really looking forward to season 20. It's hard to believe the league's been going for 5 years. That's all I got to say.
It certainly has come a long way in 5 years.
And in saying that, sorry.
Go on.
And in saying that too, we're already, as a group, the committee group and management group, we're already talking about season 21. So there are some changes coming in there as well. Talk about later as we get a bit closer to being able to make some decisions, but we'll probably be putting some poll out to try and get some, or questionnaire out to try and get some background information before we make some decisions about where we go next in season 21. And I think the talk of the town will be, I think season 21 will be Gen 3 as well, just touching wood. So yeah, just keep an eye out on those sorts of things moving forward as well over the next 12 weeks.
Unless, of course, something magical happens.
But just then, these cars will actually handle like real cars.
Yeah.
Actually, if you go back and drive,
Well, that's what happened with the old cars. The old cars handle better than these
Yeah,
cars.
well, they did. Yeah, the old cars are great to drive.
Yep.
Anyway, just want to say a personal point of view. Thanks everyone for the great season. Lots of highs and lows for me personally, but I've had a ball and it's been great. And just in case anyone wants to catch up, Will Munro and I are going to catch up at the Torridon RSL in between the break for a meal for lunch. So we'll put the dates out if anyone's around that area, want to pop in and say good day, and more than welcome to.
Sounds like an idea if I could get away from my work commitments. Torridon, know where that
Where
is
is Torridon RSL?
Torridon is top of Western Port Bay.
Yeah.
No,
So, out the other side of Cranbourne.
Yeah.
Oh, Cranbourne.
Yeah.
Well, that's not far.
Highly encourage that. I did it last year. I know Quaney and the South Australian boys got together, organised a catch up in Adelaide, which was highly successful. We had a little bit of a catch up in Sydney in the back half of last year, where I actually got to meet and have a drink with Bruce, which was really cool. And yeah, so if something like that is being organised, it's a great opportunity, guys, to put a face to a name, and talk to someone without staring at a screen.
Well, that's a bit boring, but if it's not far from Cranbourne, sounds pretty good.
Oh, I did get you to go out to Seymour to look at go-karts once.
Well, I know, but I want to drive it. I want to drive one.
Oops, sorry for coughing. Yeah, on that note, I'm going to hand it over to these boys to wrap it up. I think I'm a bit parched after that.
Thanks, John.
And we'll see everybody again next season for round 1 from Fuji. And I've got a gut feeling Bruce isn't going to put me up, so I guess we'll still be doing split 3.
Fuji GP, is it?
No chicane.
Okay, thank you.
I've always said I'm open to bribes.
Well, Bruce.
Well, there was $500 before. Actually, I think there's another $100 floating around on there, so maybe we could use that.
I'm sure my missus isn't busy one night. What night are you free?
Anyway, on that note, we'll see everybody again next season. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the league.
Thanks, John. Thanks again, John. Cheers.
Thanks, John.
Introducing the RaceKraft PT1, custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed The Cage, an 80/40 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with the 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a RaceKraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The RaceKraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation. Yeah, we worked here.